Welcome to the Mind of CMO. My name is Blake, and today we're joined by a very special guest, Jad. She is an extremely, how shall I put it? She embodies resilience, entrepreneurship, and the unwavering pursuit of dreams, perfection. So allow me to kind of unravel and explore this in a little bit more depth. And on the Mind of a CMO, we explore how, as a guest, as a human being, we are our own marketing officer of our own lives. So, Jad, welcome.
Hi, Blake.
So your journey has been an inspiring one up until this point, and I will have to admit that we've known each other for years, and I'm completely honored to have you on board for the first episode. Your journey has been a testament to resilience from what I've seen. Can you perhaps share a pivotal moment in your journey that has sort of allowed you to take charge of your life and bring you to where you are today?
I think there's been a few pivotal moments, but first I'd like to thank you for inviting me to participate in this. I'm honoured to be the first guest. I don't know, I remember being quite young, thinking that I needed to have a plan. And I was probably maybe 10, 11 years old. So I grew up in a fairly sort of tumultuous household, very aggressive, violent. We didn't have much money. We lived on welfare, that kind of cliche, if you like. And it is a cliche, so I don't really like to go on about it too much. But I just remember thinking, I need a plan. I don't feel like I want to live my life like this. So the first part of the plan was get an education. Do really, really well at school, the best that you can, and that might give you a platform to be a little bit less uncomfortable with where life's at. And then because we didn't have much money, we couldn't really participate in sports that cost a lot of money. And I always really, really loved sports. Like I loved sport in school, PE. I remember, I'm not going to tell you which Olympics it was. There was an Olympics and we held a mini Olympics at school, and I won a gold medal for one of the events in this Olympics. And I remember thinking, wow, wouldn't it be cool to actually go to the Olympics, to be a competitor in something? You know, and at that stage I had no idea what sports were in the Olympics. I just knew, you know, the gymnastics and swimming. I don't think I knew about any of the other sports in there. So when I was 13, I started judo, and the reason why I started that sport was because it was free at the PCYC club. So my second pivotal moment was after a few years of hard slog and not really doing well in judo to becoming the junior Australian champion. I was like, this is something that could also change my life in a positive way. I can travel the world. I can represent Australia. I can maybe go to the Olympics, something that I dreamed about at that little mini Olympics that we had in primary school. So early in my life, they were probably the two pivotals. And then later, loss and grief and people dying were other pivotals. So, you know, I'm an older lady now, so there's there's turning points all throughout that process.
Yeah. So I don't want to touch on the loss part too much, but I'm aware that you've got two beautiful, gorgeous children.
Yes, thank God.
Who absolutely follow up in their mother's footsteps. How do you approach the responsibility of having dual roles of a mother and a businesswoman. How do you manage both of those relationships?
So I've been in business for 21 years now. My eldest daughter was 1 when I went into business for myself, but I did work beforehand, obviously, as well. And I remember back then the juggling act that it was, because it was really important to me to have, dinner on the table, eat with my family, spend quality time with my family and be involved in their development. So it's about time management in a nutshell. So when I first started in business, I had to obviously do everything myself. I think most entrepreneurs, start that way. You kind of learn all of the intricacies of your business from start to finish. And then you have to start figuring out how you're going to delegate the stuff either that you don't like doing or that you don't want to do or that you don't have time to do. So that's when I started to analyse the numbers. And I set myself some targets around how many memberships do I need to sell or how much revenue do I need to generate so that I can buy back a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there, so that I can be more present in my family life. And I also, with my kids, they taught me a lot, I think, about how to be a better leader. So it was really important for me to understand what their needs were at the different stages of development that they're in. So now, my eldest is in college and my youngest is starting year 9, high school. So they're 8 years apart, and there's different things that your children need in different stages of their development. And it's the same when you're leading in an organisation. You've got your people that are entry level. You've got your people that may have a lot of experience, but they're entry level into your organisation. So there's got to be a nurturing and communication process in place. The fundamental thing that I think crosses over being a mum and being the owner of my business is understanding what my people need, what they want and what they need, and understanding what I'm capable of delivering and what I need to either develop my own skills to be able to deliver, or communicating that there's not a capability to deliver that. So, sometimes I would equate things in terms of, revenue. I own a couple of different businesses. But if we talk about the gym, I'll say, okay, this is how many memberships I need to sell in order for you to be able to go to school or for you to do the activities that you want to do, or for us to go and spend 2 days on a holiday somewhere. So trying to get them to also understand where I'm coming from without making it their problem, but just to understand how I make my decisions. So I manage with an open book at home and in the workplace.
Do you think that being a mum has made you a stronger, more conscientious and decisive business owner?
Look, I was pretty decisive before I became a mum, but I was decisive not to be a mum. So here I am, 22 years later with 2 children. And I don't regret that. Because I think that it's one of the greatest achievements of my life. It's the most important thing that I've done with my life, is having those 2 children. And I've done some pretty cool stuff, but that one ranks number 1 for me. And I think that what it's done is it's helped me to prioritize.
Right, okay.
And make my decisions around the greater good of the family.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I do this, is this going to be good for me and the girls, or is this going to be bad?
Yeah.
If I do this and it gives me some kind of instant gratification and I feel good at the time, is me feeling good at the time going to be good for the girls and our family? And that's how I make my decisions personally.